Welcome. Today we'll embark on a journey through the lives of America's first 10 presidents. These were men who, from the ashes of revolution, forged a new nation, a grand experiment in democracy. We'll touch on their backgrounds, their greatest achievements, their biggest challenges, and one intriguing fact about each. Let's start at the very beginning with the very first president of the United States. George Washington, a Virginian planter, a surveyor, and a man of immense determination and vision. He was not just a soldier, but a leader who learned the art of war on the rugged frontier, facing numerous challenges and adversities. He led the Continental Army to victory against the mightiest empire on earth, the British Empire, through sheer will and strategic brilliance. And then, in an unprecedented move, he laid down his sword, refusing absolute power, choosing instead to become the first president of the newly formed United States. Washington's greatest achievement? Establishing the very idea of America, a nation built on ideals, on the consent of the governed, and on the principles of liberty and justice. He served 2 terms as president, then stepped down voluntarily, setting a precedent that would shape the destiny of a nation and the office of the presidency itself. He wasn't perfect, of course. The shadows of slavery loomed large, even in his own household, a contradiction that history continues to grapple with. The Jay Treaty, a necessary compromise to avoid another war with Great Britain, drew criticism from many quarters, yet it was a pragmatic decision. But Washington, ever the pragmatist, understood that survival often meant making difficult choices, balancing ideals with the harsh realities of the time. He left a legacy that continues to inspire, a legacy of leadership, integrity, and the understanding that true power lay in service to the greater good. John Adams, a man of sharp intellect and profound dedication to his country and even sharper wit, believed in the power of ideas and the written word. He was a lawyer, a diplomat, a revolutionary who stood shoulder to shoulder with giants like Jefferson and Franklin, contributing significantly to the birth of a new nation. As the second president, he faced a nation teetering on the edge of war, navigating through turbulent times with a steady hand. France, once an ally during the Revolutionary War, now threatened to drag the young republic into another conflict, testing Adams' resolve and leadership. Adams resisted the calls for war, choosing diplomacy over bloodshed, striving to maintain peace and stability for the fledgling nation. The Alien and Sedition Acts, a stain on his legacy, revealed the fragility of freedom in times of fear, showing the challenges of balancing security and liberty. Despite their political differences, Adams found reconciliation with his old friend and rival Thomas Jefferson through a series of heartfelt letters. They died on the same day, July 4, 1826, the 50th anniversary of the nation they helped create, leaving behind a legacy of friendship and patriotism. Thomas Jefferson, a man of contradictions, a slave owner who penned the words, "All men are created equal." His life and legacy are a complex tapestry of ideals and realities, a visionary, an architect of liberty, a farmer, a scientist, a musician. Jefferson's curiosity knew no bounds, and his contributions spanned various fields from agriculture to architecture. Jefferson, the third president, believed in the power of reason, in the promise of the American experiment. He was instrumental in shaping the nation's early political landscape, advocating for democracy and individual rights. The Louisiana Purchase, his masterstroke, doubled the size of the nation overnight. This bold move expanded America's horizons and set the stage for its westward expansion. But his presidency was not without its complexities. Jefferson faced numerous challenges, both domestically and internationally, that tested his leadership and resolve. The Embargo Act, intended to protect American interests, ultimately crippled American commerce. It was a controversial decision that had lasting economic repercussions. Jefferson retired to Monticello, where he found solace in his books, his music, the rhythms of nature. His estate became a sanctuary, a place where he could reflect on his life's work and passions. He played his violin daily, the melodies a reflection of his restless spirit. Music was a constant companion, offering him peace and inspiration, a spirit that continues to resonate in the soul of America. Jefferson's legacy, with all its triumphs and contradictions, remains a fundamental part of the nation's identity and history. James Madison, the father of the Constitution, believed in the delicate balance of power, in the rights of the individual. Madison, the fourth president, led America through its first true test, the War of 1812. The burning of Washington, D.C., a national humiliation, tested the young nation's resolve. Yet, from the ashes, a spirit of resilience emerged. The American victory at Fort McHenry inspired a nation. Madison's decision to go to war, though controversial, was ultimately vindicated. Despite the challenges, Madison never wavered in his belief in the Constitution. He understood that the true measure of a nation lay in its commitment to its founding principles. James Monroe, a soldier, a diplomat, embodied the spirit of the early republic. Monroe, the fifth president, presided over an era of relative peace and prosperity, the era of good feelings. The Monroe Doctrine declared the Western Hemisphere as a sphere of American influence, yet even as Monroe celebrated national unity, the seeds of discord were being sown. The Panic of 1819 exposed the growing pains of a rapidly expanding nation. The issue of slavery cast a long shadow over Monroe's presidency. Despite these challenges, Monroe's legacy remains secure. He was the last of the founding fathers to serve as president, a symbol of the nation's early aspirations. John Quincy Adams, son of a president, diplomat, scholar, a man destined for greatness. His path to the presidency was fraught with controversy, his time in office marked by political gridlock. Adams, the sixth president, was a staunch nationalist who believed in the power of education. His vision clashed with the realities of a deeply divided Congress. Despite the challenges, Adams remained a tireless advocate for his beliefs. After his presidency, Adams served as a representative, becoming a powerful voice against slavery. He is remembered as a champion for the rights of all Americans. Andrew Jackson, a war hero, a populist, a champion of the common man, yet also a slave owner. Jackson, the seventh president, was a force of nature, a man who embodied the spirit of a young and restless nation. He rose from humble beginnings to become a symbol of American democracy. His presidency marked a turning point in American history, a shift towards greater democracy. Jackson's battles with the National Bank, his use of the veto power made him both a hero and a villain. His legacy is forever tarnished by the Indian Removal Act, a dark chapter in American history. Yet, Jackson's impact on American democracy is undeniable. Martin Van Buren, the eighth president, often overshadowed by his predecessor Andrew Jackson. Van Buren was a skilled politician, a master strategist who shaped the American political landscape. He rose through the ranks of New York politics, earning the nickname the Little Magician. Van Buren solidified the two-party system, building a strong Democratic Party. His presidency was dominated by the Panic of 1837, a severe economic depression. Van Buren's response, a hands-off approach, proved unpopular and contributed to his defeat. Despite his short time in office, Van Buren left a lasting mark on American politics. He established the Democratic Party as a powerful force. William Henry Harrison, the ninth president, served the shortest term of any president. A military hero, a man of the frontier, Harrison's story is one of triumph and tragedy. He made his name on the battlefield, defeating Tecumseh's Confederacy at the Battle of Tippecanoe. He rode that wave of popularity to the White House, campaigning as a man of the people. His inauguration, however, proved to be his undoing. Delivering a lengthy speech on a cold day, Harrison contracted pneumonia and died a month later. Harrison's death exposed the flaws in the system of presidential succession. He is remembered as a war hero, a symbol of the American frontier. John Tyler, the 10th president, ascended to the presidency following the death of William Henry Harrison. Tyler's presidency was marked by conflict with his own party. Born in Virginia, Tyler was a staunch defender of states' rights. Despite his Whig affiliation, Tyler's views on the federal government were closer to those of the Democratic Party. His vetoes of bills to recharter the National Bank led to a rift with the Whigs. Despite the political turmoil, Tyler achieved a major foreign policy victory with the annexation of Texas. He is remembered as a president who defied expectations and left a lasting mark on the presidency. From setting early precedents to shaping expansion and policy, each of these first 10 presidents left a unique mark on the young United States. They were men of their time, products of a tumultuous era, marked by revolution, expansion, and the growing pains of a new nation. Their accomplishments, controversies, and fascinating stories continue to resonate in American history. Thank you for joining us on this journey.